Dope, 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 let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick, I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Yo, bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most. I tell her, little bitch, she so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me. Niggas, they wanna fight, they some wrestlers.
Those watching dropped their jaws at what Naruto had just done with little to no effort at all. Sasuke looked up at Naruto, who held his hand out and grabbed it. Alright then, Naruto. You're on. I'm going to defeat you one day. Naruto nods, telling Sasuke that he'll be waiting for it. The group returns to the Leaf Village, and after a couple of days they get word of the attack in the Land of Wind, specifically in the Sand Village, as their Kaze Kage has been captured. Fugaku decides to dispatch 2 teams to head that way. Team Guy and Kakashi then move out together. I will mention that Tsunade and Jiraiya are back within the Leaf Village because of Fugaku's leadership and how he's helped the village. Tsunade was now the head of the medical branch, and Jiraiya was still doing his research, which means that each shinobi squad now has a healer on it, just for those deadly situations. Both teams had its healer, with one being Sakura and the other being Tenten, as well as Ino and Hinata for their respective teams. As they all studied under Lady Tsunade during the time skip, Sakura was still her greatest student. Not only did she master her healing techniques, but she also learned the 100 seal technique. Her Sharingan was also very developed by this time at 3 Tomoe state. The group travels together and gets closer and closer to the sand when they're surrounded by shinobi in robes. These weren't the main Akatsuki members that we're used to. These were just the rogue shinobi that they had recruited. But let's talk about the Akatsuki as well since we're here. Since they didn't have Itachi, it was a little harder to get their main members that they were used to. So, they were forced to get others from other villages, as this was all due to the Uchiha clan being alive in this timeline. As the group was surrounded, they prepared themselves, but Naruto steps in front of them. The rest of you go on ahead. Lee, stay here with me, we'll take care of it. Strong winds then send all the shinobi in robes into the air, allowing the rest of them to pass. Rock, Lee, and Naruto then stand back to back while looking at all of them that surround them now. I know you've been training harder than anyone else in the Leaf Village. So, show me just how much you've improved, Lee. This would be when Lee enters a second gate without any struggle at all. Naruto has wind and lightning surround his body, and the Akatsuki members around them begin to get scared. Right now, they were more dangerous, and they were in way more than they had bargained for. Naruto and Lee then both vanished from where they were previously standing. As everyone else continued on forward, they felt the shockwaves from the battle going on behind them. Naruto tilts his head back, looking at 5 shinobi jump down from the skies. Big mistake coming from the air. Naruto swipes his hand, and all of them were cut in half by wind and lightning. Lee jumps over water jutsu and landed a strong blow to his opponent's gut. He then kicks another one that was sneaking up behind him, and he jumps into the air, spinning over, doing a leaf hurricane to another, knocking him out. 3 shinobi then stand in trees above him and launch down elemental jutsu at the same time, but Lee was saved by wind and lightning. All 3 shinobi seemed confused, as Lee was to a certain degree, because when he looked over at Naruto, he wasn't even facing him. Lee would then blitz these shinobi and Naruto would take down the rest. The 2 then stand there looking at the fallen shinobi on the ground. Such weaklings. But this symbol on their robes, I've never seen anything like it before. Naruto takes one of the robes from them and decides to bring it back to the leaf once they're done. Lee then points out that the others seem to be pretty far ahead, but Naruto says that won't be a problem at all. He stands closer to Lee as wind begins to surround them. By this time, the others had made it to the sand and continued on with Granny Chio to save Gaara. Sakura and Tenten were left at the hospital to tend to the injuries, the people who were injured. They'll come as soon as they get done. As soon as the group exits, the sand village, to catch up to the Akatsuki, Lee and Naruto appear from within a sand tornado. Good. Looks like we made it in time. Let's get going. They can't be too far. The group then heads forward, first catching up to Sasori. Naruto and Sasuke decide to continue forward, leaving Sasori behind for the group to take down. As the duo gets closer and closer to Deidara, they see how high up he was, on a clay bird, and Naruto decides that they need to get up there right now. Sasuke then notices that wind begins to appear under his feet, allowing him to ascend and run on the air. The two would get closer and closer, and Sasuke looks over to see red lightning in Naruto's hand. He's going to use that attack that he used in the Chunin exams. He has to. Maybe if I turn my Sharingan on just in time, I'll be able to see it and replicate it. As Sasuke turns on his Sharingan, Naruto vanishes, and Deidara's arm is seen falling to the ground. Deidara then looks forward to see Naruto standing there while holding the Kazekage. Hey Sasuke, catch. Naruto drops guard down to Sasuke, who would catch him while looking back up at him. There's no point for me to help you in this one. He's already defeated. I'll let you have fun with such a weakling. Sasuke goes back down to the ground with Gaara and watches the fight. Deidara then asks Naruto how he was floating in the air right now. Naruto, who was staring at the clouds around them, then answered, "It's because this is my domain, as I rule here." What are you talking about? Have you gone crazy? Declaring yourself a king and a ruler is not artistic at all. It's basic. What could you possibly be the king of? Haven't you noticed it yet? I expected a shinobi who could capture a Kage would notice my abilities, especially if they far surpass your own. You idiot. I'll destroy you with my own art, even with one arm. My abilities are no joke. Clay birds and dragons begin to form, and as they are created, they begin to explode on Deidara, who takes heavy damage. He was seen bleeding while sitting on top of the clay dragon. How are you able to do that? Naruto looks over at him with a blank expression. You chose defeat by beginning this battle in my domain. I rule over the skies and lightning and determine their actions. Deidara calls his bluff, but Naruto decides to humor these claims and doubts. When do you think it rained in this land last? Deidara says he has no idea, as he believes it's never even rained here since it was always a desert. Naruto then smirks, having his eyes go red, with lightning surging around his body. Dark clouds begin to form, and this was strange. It begins to not only rain, but storm across the lands. Deidara was in shock, wondering if it was just by chance, but that would be impossible. He looks back over at Naruto to see a small blade in his hands. He holds it up to the dark clouds as red lightning strikes down upon the blade and extends high into the skies. Naruto swings it down, cutting Deidara in half within a second. The battle was already over with. And over at the battle with Sasori, they were overwhelming him and his puppets. It was coming to an end, but this is when a tunnel of wind would consume him and his remaining puppets, destroying him and them. The group then looks in the direction to see Naruto and Sasuke standing there. Alright, mission complete. Let's wrap this one up. After they stabilize Gaara, the group heads back to the Leaf Village, and Naruto gives the ropes to Fugaku. But now they had even more time to prepare, so different shinobi begin training even harder here. Naruto himself was studying under Jiraiya because he didn't know his father. Within a day, he learned how to do the Rasengan, and the next day he learned to enhance it. Due to the way that he used Tempest Release, he could form a Rasengan without even using his hands. The Leaf then gets word of the Akatsuki in the Land of Fire once again, but there were reports of 3 of them this time. This is when they sent out Team Azuma, along with Naruto and Kakashi, as the rest of the teams were so focused on their training, but this wouldn't be a problem. The group makes it into the town to see multiple buildings destroyed and people dead. They walk around with their guard up to find 3 Akatsuki members, sitting on a destroyed building. Naruto steps in front of the group and demands to know what their end goal was. Why were they doing this? None of them would give him an answer, as each of them then told Naruto their own personal goal. They then asked why the Leaf Shinobi would come here if it's just going to get them killed. Don't make me laugh. I would take down all 3 of you by myself if I really wanted to. Hidan then stands up with his scythe, pointing it at Naruto. If you're so confident, why don't we put that to the test? Naruto then looks back at his friends and family. I'll do this one alone. I'll be fine. These 3 don't even have a clue who I am. Naruto pulls out his blade and a kunai. Alright then, let's do this. The 3 Akatsuki members then vanish and rush straight at Naruto. He blocks the blades of Hidan and Kisame while also slamming his knee into Kakuzu. Naruto then flips into the air and forms 10 Rasengans that fly down at great speeds, landing on them. They recover, but they look up to see that Naruto was no longer there in the air. Kisame then felt that something was off. The blade of Naruto was stabbed into his chest. Hidan then jumps at Naruto, who will pull out the blade and blocks with a wind attack. A surge of lightning then entered his body and stopped his heart, but he continued to breathe, which shocked Naruto. He swings his weapon against Naruto, who would then send him into the skies. He then looks at the remaining 2. Kisame was barely able to stand with such a fatal injury to his chest, while Kakuzu seemed unfazed by the injuries of his allies. Naruto then holds his hand above his head, forming a giant Rasengan, but then wind and lightning began to surround it. The mere presence of this attack caused the ground to rip from under Naruto's feet and float towards it as it was absorbed into the attack. Kakuzu began to get worried, but this is when Naruto vanished, appearing right behind both of them. The attack then consumes them, vaporizing their bodies as nothing was left behind. Naruto then allows Hidan to then fall back down to the ground, and he crashes hard. Naruto then begins to interrogate him, but he's not exactly able to extract any information, but Shikamaru suggests that they just bury him. After that's done, the group stays in the town to help rebuild some of it, and when they return, a meeting would be held with the Leaf's elders and strongest shinobi. Sakamo, as the Hokage's advisor, tells them the information that they have come across with the help of Jiraiya. They believe Pain to be the leader of this organization. They don't know what his end goal is, but they know that he wants all the tail beasts for some sort of plan. With Jiraiya's spy network, they believe that Pain resides within the Hidden Rain Village, and the Hokage wants to send out a team of shinobi to take him down. This mission will not only require stealth, but strength and guts. Those who they have elected for this mission might not come back home. Therefore, they are allowed to refuse this S-rank mission. When I say your name, you are allowed to refuse or accept. Sakamo then picks up a paper and pen. The first member elected is Itachi Uchiha. He stands up once his name is called. I accept. Good. You're the group's leader for this deadly mission. Time and time again, you've shown the Leaf why you are a great leader and shinobi. Itachi thanks Sakamo for the kind words as he would sit back down. Next, we have selected Shisui Uchiha. If you accept, we'd also like you to bring your top 3 ranked Anbu members on this mission as well. Shisui stands, accepting the mission. We've selected the next based on him being a well-rounded shinobi who works well in these type of situations. Kakashi Hatake. I accept. Sakamo then drafts Jiraiya and Tsunade along with Sakura as another medical support ninja, all of which he would accept. For the final members of this squad, we have selected Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha. You two are the strongest of your generation, and your abilities may rival many of the shinobi on this squad. You may be young, but there's no doubt in my mind that you two are ready for this mission. You all will be heading off in a month, so take time to prepare. Naruto is then taken by Jiraiya to Mount Miyaboku to learn Sage Mode, which only takes them 2 weeks to complete it and get it perfected. For the remainder of his time, Naruto prepares himself mentally for this battle. When the date does arrive, the group is given a new outfit to wear. It was a black and gold Jonin uniform with the leaf symbol on its sleeves. They head out together and slowly make their way to the Hidden Rain village. They arrive not too far from the gate as Itachi begins to explain the plan once again. We're going to split up into teams of 4 to enter from each side of the village. Team 1 is me, Sakura, Jiraiya, and Kakashi. Team 2 is Shisui, Sasuke, Naruto, and Tsunade. If you guys find Pain or any Akatsuki members, shoot up a signal into the skies or create some sort of attack so that we can find you. This mission, well, we may not come back from it, so give it your all. We're not only fighting for the Leaf Village, but we're fighting for the future of all shinobis within this nation. Alright, let's move out. Everyone then throws on their hoods and dashes into their, specific locations. Team 1 goes to the left side and manages to knock out the guards while extracting information from them. Over with Team 2, they made it in, but they alerted the village, which caused more shinobi in robes to come their way. Naruto then clears a path for them and Shisui looks to Sasuke. This is when the two would use the body flicker to run around the village to find what they were looking for, also creating more clones. As this happened, Naruto feels a strange change in the air as he looks up to see Konan floating above him. Suddenly, her paper wings were then cut down as she begins to fall from the skies. However, a path of pain suddenly catches her and makes it to a ledge. Naruto looks at them and decides to attack once again. As he does, a tail beast is summoned and blocks his path. What the hell? Naruto then sees Sasuke jump right in front of him. He's all mine. The Nine-Tails then summoned by Sasuke, as their battle would also begin. Naruto then turns, realizing that all the paths of pain were now surrounding him. As if you could even touch me. All of them begin to rush in, but Naruto dodges each of their attacks. Shisui then appears backing up Naruto and cuts through one of them, as Tsunade would also appear, striking through another, leaving only 3 left. These ones are dealt with by Naruto, and he looks up the tail beast who continued fighting. The 2 tails shoots black and blue flames towards them, towards the 9 tails, and Naruto blocks the attack with wind. Kurama then slams his claws down on the 2 tails, sending it to the ground. A tail beast bomb then forms in its mouth, but his mouth is hit upwards. This is when the 3 tails is also revealed on the battlefield. Sasuke begins to get fired up and asks Kurama if he wants to go all out right here and now. The two would then enter their perfected KCM. Over with Team 1, they were in a heated battle with the Masked Man and Pain himself. Itachi was going against Pain, but the Masked Man was going against Kakashi and Jiraiya, who seemed to be overwhelmed. None of their attacks were even able to land, as Kakashi then figured out that their dojutsu were somehow linked, but that could only mean one thing. This caused them to falter while in battle, leaving them wide open for an attack. But the Masked Man, this attack was blocked by Naruto. The Masked Man tries to phase away, but his body's cut into multiple pieces by Naruto before he could do anything. And he falls to the ground. A storm then begins, to shadow the land, and Naruto begins to glow. All of the Leaf Shinobi are then surrounded by small tornadoes that teleport them out of the area. This is when Naruto jumps into the sky, and he floats there for a moment. Why waste any more time when I could have done this from the beginning? Suddenly, a huge hurricane with red lightning forms in the village, so big that it completely destroys the land, only leaving rubble behind. All the Akatsuki members who were there were killed by this large-scale attack. The only ones who managed to survive were the tail beast, of course. Naruto then floats over the lands, allowing the storm clouds to slowly fade away. The group then returns to the Leaf with the mission complete, and no casualties on their side, which was shocking to Fugaku. They only returned with minor injuries. And Naruto tells them that he's going to live in the land of storms, as he believes that's his true home. He gives the location area, to the Leaf Village, as if they ever need him, they can find him, as Sakamoto and Kakashi decide to go with him. Years later, Naruto sits on a cliff meditating over the storms, as he hears footsteps behind him. And this is when we would all see a familiar shinobi. So, how about we finish where we left off? A rusted kunai then lands to the leg of Naruto, and the hill next to him is then cut in half. As Naruto tilts his head back, we see Sasuke Uchiha standing there with an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan.